Mitt Romney squeaked out a win in Tuesday's Michigan primary, yet the awarding of delegates has created some drama for the GOP. Joining us is pollster, MiVote blogger, and U of M Dearborn professor Tim Kiska to tell us what it all means. Tim, what did we learn from the election?
Well, I think the electorate, the Republican electorate here is pretty evenly split. I think we learned that, and I think it's still fairly bitter out there. I mean, if talk about evenly split, if you'd taken Oakland County out of the vote count, which of course you can't, it would have been literally a draw. I think Mitt Romney's margin of victory was about 30,000 votes, which is what he got in Oakland County. He lost big time in places like Allegan County, Ottawa County. A little trivia here, 6 more votes would have given him the entire UP.
But Tim, you've got the Romney camp saying that if you take the Democratic vote out, that their margin of victory in this state would have been 7–8% instead of 3%.
I don't know how they. Yeah, I don't know how they arrive at that. The only thing when I looked at Genesee County, which went for Santorum, I'm thinking, was that UAW mischief there or not? It probably was, but that's kind of hard to figure right now at this point.
But Tim, how much of it was absentee vote? So, and that was cast earlier. So Romney was better organized.
Right.
What does that mean?
I think that means that's why he won. But Karl Rove, who's a sharp guy at counting votes, says that about 100,000 ballots went out before Missouri, Minnesota, Colorado. And these people, a lot of them cast their votes before any of this happened. Before that, they cast their vote before some of the stuff that Santorum set up in the UP when he was up in Marquette. So I think that helped a lot too. I think it's about 20. I think the margin of 20% of the absentee. It was 20%. That was the number for absentee. So that was huge. That was absolutely.
And Romney won those by a big margin. Didn't
huge margin, absolutely. In fact, on the ground, I mean, my estimate was that actually Santorum probably won
on election day.
On election day, but it was that AV that put him over the top.
What percentage of people eligible to vote in the Republican Party actually ended up voting?
I don't know about the Republican Party.
That's true.
The turnout was 16%. 4 years ago, it was 21%.
So it was down?
It was down a little bit. It was down a bit. But that's still.
But you actually had a greater vote total this time than you had last time.
Yes.
So, I mean, it does speak to the fact that these candidates were here generating excitement, generating enthusiasm, and, people responded.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And this was as heated an election as I've seen in a long time. You can't take that away from it.
So what do you read into it? What does it mean for Michigan this year? I, at one point, thought we were a battleground state. Not sure I think that right now. But what's your read on where Michigan is politically?
I think we have a long time to go between now and November. Yeah, it's going to be a battleground state. But what I can't read right now is, okay, you've got all of these Santorum voters. What are they going to do in November? Well, I don't think they're going to vote for Barack Obama. My question is, are they going to stay home? Are they embittered by what's going on with this delegate fight? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
But Tim, I mean, if you take a look at your exit poll and you ask a lot of questions about what motivates people to vote and the demographics, what are some of the more interesting things you learned from that survey?
Well, CBS did the exit poll. The economy was it. And that's
not social issues.
Not social issues.
Even though that's what they banged around on here for 2 weeks.
Right, exactly. And I'm beginning to think that Santorum ran into the limits of social conservatism. In other words, he went as far as he could possibly go, and that was it. He came close to winning, but not close enough.
Did his voters trust him on the economy?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. And I still have not been able to figure out. Somebody voting for Santorum, are they voting for Santorum because they don't like Romney? Are they voting for Santorum because they like his issues? Where are we on this? I think it's weird. It was a weird set of people, not a weird set of alliances here that I think put him so close.
But Tim, Michigan is still a divided state. I mean, Western Michigan went for Santorum.
Big time.
Southeastern Michigan went for Mitt Romney. It's like I-75 is a wall between our two. What do you make of that? Is it just tradition?
Yeah, I think it's tradition, except I think it's sort of like heightened now, in these days. But you're right about that. If you take a look at the western side of the state, Kent County went for Santorum, not by much, but just enough. Like as I mentioned, Allegan, Ottawa County, which is near Holland, huge for Santorum, absolutely huge.
And he spent a lot of time on the west side of the state.
And by the way, he went up to the UP too, which is a little rare for a candidate. And I don't know why I'm fixated on the UP, but I am. But it was just interesting to me.
Can I switch races? Because Michigan's got more than one interesting race. It's right now, I think they're putting their most recent polling, and I agree with you, things can change. It has President Obama doing very well, 20 points up. The Senate race. What is your analysis of the Senate race? I, for one, thought that Pete Hoekstra's Super Bowl ad might impact the primary, and the numbers doesn't appear to do so. What's your analysis of the Senate race?
Well, I think some of the things that are at work in the presidential primary here are kind of at work there. I mean, it's sort of like Pete Hoekstra, as I understand it, is a little bit more of the establishment choice, but then you've got Clark Durant and Gary Glenn running hard and picking up some support. And my question is, by the way, for the Senate, the Tea Party folks, they seem to be focused on the Senate race. There was a whole group of them that got together a couple weekends ago, and were pushing to focus on one candidate to go after.
So are they focusing it in the primary or the general or both?
Well, they're starting with the primary. What they want to do is get all of their troops together and go for Gary Glenn, thinking that'll put them over the top. But
Tim, if we're focused on if the voters were focused on the economy, you assume Democratic voters, independent voters will also be focused on the economy. What happens between now and November on the economy is going to be pretty decisive in the November vote.
That's what I mean. You know, I mean, I think that between now and November, with gas prices could go up, could go down, could go up, down, and up again. Who knows? You know. And
were you polling on consumer confidence?
No, not right now. I wish we were, because that would be an interesting thing to tie voter performance with consumer confidence, and I think that might be what it's come down to. How's everybody feeling the week before?
What was your sense? Did you get a sense people were feeling better than they have felt?
Oh yeah, we're picking that up, but I still think they're just nervous.
Listen, I'm nervous. So
we're all nervous.
We're all nervous.
Exactly.
We thank you for joining us. State Senator Bert Johnson joins us when we return with Am I Right?